Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here at the MPLPH Season 6 regular season. We are currently on the very first game of our second series. It is going to be between Blacklist and, of course, RPH, ladies and gentlemen. And we just came in, I think, from a pause. I think there are some technical issues actually coming in from the side of one team here. But yeah, I mean, let's just go. Let's have a better breakdown for this running game. Let's actually account for the possible picks on this. We did mention earlier that there is little overlap on choices such as Cyclops and Rafaela, being that the support position here is going to be very interesting and unique
Yeah.
on the side of these two teams, on the battle between these two teams.
Let's just say that Dexter is on part of control,
Hmm.
and Greed is very aggressive.
Yeah, yes. I'm actually worrying because on the part of control, actually, Dexter is a bit more of on the side of being conservative,
Yeah.
but not really on a weekly conservative. It's just his very controlled, sustained type playstyle that sometimes it might be pushed to a wall by that aggressive playstyle of Greed, using maybe a Natalia or even a Kagura. Actually, I also would like to account the fact that even Blacklist doesn't roll with a Selena pick here, which Selena
Yeah.
is being chosen to be open, right? Being open right now for this
Yeah.
active patch.
I agree because we've seen Selena in the hands of Greed, and not gonna lie, he controlled 3 lanes like it was nothing, and that is one of the traits that they really have to look out for if you're gonna leave that Selena open onto the side of Aura PH. Now, there is a huge, let's say not really huge, but there is quite a bit of a contest here for the Tams. It's probably Edward and it's an Edward and Kilowash or KLBJ hero that can be passed on towards these two teams. So, what is what are they gonna do? Are they gonna ban it on the first 3 bans? Because it's still a good hero. You do not give it out. You do not really give it out that easily. And there is this thing about the first pick. If you see the pattern, teams always go for the side laners now. There are no supports that can, you know, out how do I say this? Outplay or out prioritize the side laners. Even the Selena doesn't really out prioritize the side laners.
Yeah, yeah. Even the Selena doesn't really out prioritize the side laners here, being that Selena has the best control actually on the mid lane part. The moment that you actually translates that even to the buff control, and especially for the vision, I do believe that the vision for Selena is still a bit underrated or misunderstood by a lot. Also, would like to account the possibility. No, not the possibility, but rather this DK pick by RPH. This kind of holds a very different dynamic and changed a very different dynamic from the side of RPH and also of teams fighting RPH. Here's why. Normally, there is always that Hilda ban, right? Normally, there is always that Hilda ban onto the side of Aura. It is always a part of their equation, whether a Digi is chosen or a Hilda gets banned, or even a Digi being chosen against them. Even Aura is also vigilant of the fact that the tactic they have they pioneered or introduced to the MPL. It's an old tactic in ML, but a tactic that they have introduced towards the MPL regular season will be used against them, and that is on the Digi feed strat. Again, guys, it is not anymore viable.
It is not anymore viable, but there is this thing about the rubber band mechanic for MLBB really just amplified. It gained a bit of more percentage on it, so that means if
Getting
Diggy can
executes.
if Diggy can put someone into legendary status on a legendary killing spree, even if you get 50 gold, the question is, will it be enough? Because I think that in a way, the Digi strat, as long as you can compensate for that 50 gold that's given, I think at times Vision is still going to be more valuable at times.
It is possible. Yeah, it
Eh,
is
but
possible.
but I think it's all about the equation.
It's all
Like,
about the equation. It's all about, again, like we mentioned earlier, maybe finding the balance.
uh, yeah.
And accounting for that balancing or that
I mean,
weighing scale would be of the Digi part.
I mean, if I give out 50 gold at 8 deaths, then I have the capability to cancel any teleport that can happen and make
Yeah.
them go back and regen in their own 2 feet.
Yeah,
Am I saving money?
yeah,
Or am I giving them if I'm am I giving them money, or am I wasting their time more?
yeah, and that leaves you with curiosity.
Yeah,
That leaves you
clearly,
with curiosity of
clearly,
how it will pan out, right?
you're still wasting their time. They
Yeah.
should just be recalling, but at the same time, they can't just because you deal damage when you spin.
And so there is still that possibility.
There is still that possibility.
It's not. It's 0%.
It's not 0%.
Yeah.
There's a team out there that is still making sense of that. I'm pretty sure of it, and it's. I don't really think that it's aura, in a way, but you know what? I will take everything that I said with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I just feel that 50 gold isn't really enough to set back that vision game and making people go back to their base on their old defeat.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is well. For this match though, there are still a lot of options. I think there's still a lot of combinations that they have to go through. That I think it is kind of easy, not impossible, but easy at least to disregard first
Yeah.
the digipid tactic. It's really hard not to discuss when we are talking about the team that introduced it here in the regular season.
Okay. So Khalid is still one of the heroes that has not been given out in Project Next.
Yeah,
Such a strong
good ban rate actually.
Yeah. Such a strong presence ever since. And right now he makes more sense into just controlling the lanes. So he has the capability to make people go back into base, to recall back, and he has the capability to go up against 2 to 3 people trying to go for him, especially with that second skill sustain. It's just way too good.
Yeah, I also have questions regarding the Esmeralda pick, right? I kind of feel that the Esmeralda is not really kind of a feel, but it is not present actually on the running pool of these two teams, which is, it will be a nice mechanic for teams. I can dare say that, these two teams can easily play Esmeralda,
Yeah.
but it will be interesting for them on the idea of revisiting Esmeralda, especially on competitive play.
The last time I saw Kiloash play an Esmeralda off lane was way back MSC 2019. But it was way back MSC 2019. They didn't really, do it again
Yeah.
as much. And I think LVJ is one of the players that can just get that signature Esmeralda of his and just make it his own. And there is this thing about Aqua excelling in mage heroes. So if there's someone who's gonna use that Esmeralda, that can be Edward, it can be Aqua, but I'm actually leaning towards Aqua more.
Yeah, well, we'll see, guys. There we go. We got the Esmeralda being shown. There's no surprise. I think the Project Next totally dictates of that priority ban for that lane dominating lady. Now we have RPH also going to be removing the Yuzong and Blacklist International. Interesting. They're going to be removing the Selena. They are now eyeing towards Greed. Khalid might be open here.
You can never give out the Selena to Greed, because there are teams that are just letting it go because it's on another team. But seeing how Greed utilized that against Execration, it just single-handedly won them the game.
Yes, yes. For the Selena. I mean, all those arrows actually connecting back and forth against that match with Execution. My accounting for this is that, of course, we're accounting for side laners. We're looking towards the Uranus, especially with the Esmeralda ban, or a Khalid. But, we have to account for the first pick advantage that Blacklist has. Though, alright, Aura is opening up teams. So if they are opening up teams, they might be eyeing on securing maybe just the Tams first, or the lane. YSS will also be open. Let's look here on the ban. They're really carefully considering this. I would suggest Blacklist on baiting RPH and just securing maybe the Uranus, probably a Uranus, and just have themselves some YSS. I think that is totally rewarding for full clip. Or though there is a lean on this game. That's a running problem. Lots of options really.
Yeah, point of contention here is going to be Link, because they have two of the best Link players in the league right now. Hilda is the last band here. I think they don't want to give it to Raflisha. Raflisha won't shy away from just annoying the hell out of the other team when he gets that kill done.
Alright, get a Kufra here for the side of Aura PH. Ladies and gentlemen, Khalid will also be open if they don't ban it. Although, yeah, we will have the link. Farsa, lots of stuff being open, so I think we should be link, like I mentioned.
Okay, it's going to be a Farsa,
Yeah, Farsa ban.
but now Blacklist is torn. Which will you get? Uranus or the Khalid? Because
Or a link.
whatever happens here, Aura PH will have a setup for a Thams equals the Khalid.
Okay, they're eyeing the side lane first.
Yeah,
Alright.
they're probably
Yeah.
or
For something safe, just go for Khalid. Right?
Mhm.
Just go for Khalid.
Khalid and
Side
Thams. I think it's the safest way to
Yeah,
go
doesn't
here.
give out so much, right?
Or if ever Aura PH has another understanding of the meta, then it's probably going to be that way. But it's going to be a Khalid.
Khalid Tams, it did something safe.
Yeah.
So you give a signal now of probably, if that's Khalid and Tams,
I'm guessing
either
for
lane or YSS, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
for now. For now, right?
now. I think for Blacklist International, they could go for Jawhead and Ling.
Mm.
Jawhead and Ling will look nice on this Uranus setup.
Both are good YSS players as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. There's a lot of overlap for that
Oh,
part.
Roger.
That
Wow.
is very early.
So that means they're okay. They're okay
They're
with Aura
totally
PH
okay, yeah.
getting that Ling. Oh, and they okay.
Alright.
They do have the show as well. So it's going to be the show and the Roger. Yeah, I like the mobility. Okay. So Cho and Roger actually works well together.
Yeah.
Like the aggression and the dives that they
The
can
dives, yeah, especially once you get the kick or even just a simple Jeet Kundo knock up can easily be followed for by that Roger. And it makes it will give you some questions, but not really so bad, you know, that, of choosing a Ling, of choosing a YSS. Because Lancelot will also be open anyway,
Mhm.
right? And both are capable of playing that. There's just a lot of overlap between Edward and JP here. Maybe even Aura would consider, you know, mixing things a bit. Maybe show us support for now.
And
But
they
there we
go,
go. They just went with the Lancelot.
they go straight for a lance, and it's pretty much safe
Yeah.
to go for that lance right now, just because RPH they saw the carry of the jungler of the hyper carry rather of Blacklist International. They saw Roger, and okay, we're gonna go for the invades, and I think Aura PH here not gonna really stay away from their current style of playstyle on the previous patch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where my curiosity lies. We have the Popple and Cupa for the side here of Aura. PH. Ladies and gentlemen, for the ban. RPH is now eyeing actually on targeting the support position here against Dexstar and maybe even Eson, but it'd be rewarding to target Dexstar for now as it is the biggest contrast on the side of Blacklist International's composition. It is the one that is lacking. No mid laner yet. A Digiban.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, 50. Is it really gonna make you flinch?
Possible, right? Yeah.
I mean,
So maybe Blacklist understands it.
think of it as one extra minion.
Yeah, just one extra minion. Not much on the reward. RPH gonna be removing that Jawhead as well. I do believe the Jawhead is a very, very good ban, especially on the plans here for Eason. Imagine a Jawhead on Eason's aggression, right?
And you know what? I'm actually surprised that Blacklist International did prioritize that show first. The Jawhead is somewhat of a priority pick right now for some of the teams, but it's all about their understanding, and let's see how will this drafting pattern will pan out.
Let us see. We got RPH here. Yet to choose their mid laner and also their tank support. I would suggest that they should pick their tank support now. But rather they went for the mid lane, they
Oh.
went for something very stable, maybe something that Blacklist International has a nice propensity in picking, and that would be of the Chango.
Okay. Durant's carrier, it's there. First skill got nerfed a bit, but there is a substantial buff to the second skill. It will give him a certain amount of damage for other heroes. He can be as harass heavy as possible, but they really have to look out for this Chang'o, because the thing is, if ever Roger finds ways to get the gold, you can easily tear that Chang'o down.
Yeah.
It
You
is,
can easily tear the Chango down, and Blacklist International, they require some heavy engages here. Kufra won't be available. They went for the Sicilian, and
the Lolita.
Lolita is good against the Chango by default. Curious about the Sicilian pick. I mean, well, there's no Natalia option anyway, so it's already banned. That's why, right? And probably because no more Kufra, even with the Atlas option, I think it's totally okay still for Blacklist in choosing the Sicilian.
What are they gonna go for here? I'm actually
Makes things really weird,
Yeah.
with the Sicilian pick, honestly.
uh, it's
But the best part about Sicilian is the
Mm.
moment that everyone dives, you just activate your ultimate, you have decent wave clear, and you could go toe-to-toe
oh
with that Chango wave clear. But, of course, just go for the 2-2-1.
okay. So they go for that Gushon
Double carry setup.
side lane.
Yeah, go double carry setup. Gold EXP lane Gushon, it's probable. Get that level 4 quick. But how will they allocate the buff?
Mm.
That's the big question.
Okay, so there is a setup for Gushon that ever since the last patch, he wasn't really that heavy
Mhm.
in terms of getting the purple buff. It was more on the side lane part, and you always get the execute. Now, I'm not so sure what KLVJ is gonna go for, but if a statistic is possible once he hits level 4. Now, onto the other side, it makes Edward a bit scared to maneuver properly, because that's the thing about the Sicilian. Sicilian here, once it doesn't have the flicker, he cannot escape that Gushon properly.
Yeah. He cannot totally escape that vision properly. And that's very, very big question here. There is a nice potency on that cushion, but again, the allocation of resources. That's where it lies for the side here of Aura. But that's what makes this matchup and this series totally exciting. I mean, on how these two very wise teams really approach the new and the biggest question of Mobile Legends, and that's how you handle Project Next Patch in the competitive platform. Now we have here a 1-3-1 setup. Gusion will be on the experience lane along with the Uranus, facing the Uranus. Gold lane Sicilian. Very interesting. An acceleration maybe for that Enchanted Talisman against that Thams. Alright.
And they put Edward into that certain role because they want him to probably get the Clock of Destiny fast. It is good. It could be the Clock of Destiny, but look at Eson here being very aggressive, and they just let him be.
Yeah, they just let him be. They know that they cannot afford to actually put delay onto that buff. Even with just grid chasing him, they need someone to at least juggle that jungle camp, or they will suffer the reset. So, one buff lead for JP here. Full clip still stays in the mid. I think they really plan on at least. Alright. So there's a side lane Gusion. I'm actually curious if how will they allocate things, but so far the buff goes to the Lancelot, and now a fight breaks out here to the purple buff of the members here of Blacklist International. Raplisha dances around, being the disruptor, and now the saboteur. Also, Dexter follows through, puts his bulwark up, and Full Clip wouldn't follow up.
Okay, I like the passiveness of both teams.
Yeah.
They're just being controlled, just trying to size up their man onto the side of Aura PH. Aura PH, they're really trying to put a bit of a pressure on Blacklist International on how they react to whatever it is that Aura is doing. So there is a bit of a tranquility in the side lanes. Stamps getting his thing, Dexter here leaving Edward a bit. But you know what? There's this thing about the Thams that Sicilian can't really be complacent.
Yeah.
at any time.
Yeah.
Because once the Tams reaches you and you're in range of the slaughtering sites, you are just gonna get harassed.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very, very big thing, ladies and gentlemen, for the side here of Blacklist when it comes to that laning part, especially on the Thams. But again, there's an insurance on the Thams, right? Counter Inferno. It's not just the harass, actually, it's the durability of that guy.
Durability.
It's the durability as well for
I mean,
that guy.
control is there,
Yeah.
but when the claws actually, meet together,
Yeah.
and
You don't want to really go near.
you if you don't catch Tams,
Yeah.
then that's the time where Tams is gonna say, "Let's go, it's go time."
Yeah, it's
No
go time.
one, no
Yo-yo
one can
time.
touch me.
Yo-
No one can touch me right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's still a very good lane for Kilowash, to be honest.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Very curious. I find the scaling of a Sicilian a bit awkward in the early game. That's the thing. That's where I worry
Yeah,
for that part.
that's the thing. You put him on the gold lane just because you want him to scale first or get that first item.
Yeah.
Because you kind of accelerate his capability
Yeah.
with items.
But will he be rotating? That's the thing, right? It doesn't look like it normally. Well, maybe. What they plan is just have a Sicilian on the gold lane so that when the time comes that their main carry, full clip here, visits the gold lane, there's a good support, right? In the form of that Sicilian. But first blood, 1-for-1 will be the overall trade as, of course, Raflisha dives in too deep. I think that's under third range, and yeah.
And look at the bottom lane, Kill VJ here getting caught out, and I think
Mm.
that is one dead Gushon.
Mm.
That's the thing about Gushon. If you use that combo and you didn't get to execute,
Yeah, especially with incandescence.
it's not going to be a trade.
Yeah, a walking Gushon is not really a threatening Gushon. Gushon is highlighted by his mobility. You have to remember that.
Oh, look at this, Raflisha.
I don't know, just dancing around. And we have to account for the fact that Raflisha has minimal damage, only just for the disruption. Even Full Clip knows he can actually trade this and get the buff. Just Raflisha really being a saboteur again against Full Clip.
And how will they acknowledge the factor here that it's almost 3 minutes, the platings will go down. Look at Kilowash here actually winning his lane. That is a lot of damage onto that plating, and how many gold does this guy have? Because he has 1 kill, and almost 1/4 of the plating is left already.
These are so heavy here. For the side of Aura, for the side of Blacklist, Aura is now steadily trying to recuperate that death onto KLVJ. That's why maybe Raflisha has been camping on. Especially, it makes a lot of sense with this turtle totally on. Numinum Blast didn't tag anyone on the side here of Aura PH. Rather, they will be the one to secure also the turtle and also another kill against the Full Clip. That's a lot of win. So much and too big. Make that 3 without any answer here by Blacklist. Oh my god.
What is happening? That was a perfect initiation from Raflisha. If you see how they set it up, it's clearly in a way that they were really gunning to get that turtle. The Numinum Blast was there, even the Flicker was used. That's how confident this team is on Blacklist International. But they did not take into account that a Khaled might come out of nowhere.
Yeah, man.
And remember, that ultimate coming out from Khaled, that is in a circular form, and that is a small circle. That's
Indeed.
actually a very small circle. So they get caught off guard, and the rest is history. It's slaughter blades, and the how do you say this? And the thorned rose, and those are AOE damage, even though they don't have the items. As long as those 3 hit you,
Strikes, yeah.
it's still
Still
going
a lot
to be
of damage. Yeah, we're accounting for base damage. Actually, the Shadowblade onslaught of
Shadow-based slaughter.
Shadowblade Slaughter
Yeah.
of the Gushon is still on the higher level mark, right? He did have his fair share of staying actually in the EXP lane, and of course that will be maxed out. So it's no surprise on that damage even without the items yet.
And man, oh man, look at this. Aura PH not really
That's-
letting up on it.
Yeah, very big lead. It's a very big lead early on. That's too much. 3 kills. You're gonna kill onto Full Clip. Security by JP, everything. I mean,
That is a
Very,
That
very.
is the start that you wish for when you are playing a Lancelot and a Gushion.
I would understand one kill, maybe even against a support, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot but feel Full Clip has a tendency of really fighting for the turtle. Remember his Lancelot play?
Mm-hmm.
Where he always just he's always there. He's always there, landing down that retribution. It's just that JP wins the trade
Mm-hmm.
for the retrieve fight.
I guess it's more on the Aura PH went on to fight when they saw that the flicker Luminant Blast was used. And it's fast thinking for them. Like when you noticed how Rafflesia and the others just went into the vicinity
Yeah.
and used the ultimate,
Yeah.
they knew that they had the advantage just because of that one big ultimate not really connecting into anyone.
So heavy. Right now, if there's any option for comeback, maybe they'd want to rethink. Maybe they'd want to revisit some lane. Maybe something like that. Maybe check out the tabs up top. Try to capitalize in pulling off a 1-3-1 or 4-0-1 maneuver on that part, because we're about to enter the 3-minute 40 seconds mark anyway, where resources will normalize on the side lanes, because again guys, the artillery minions will have no more bonus gold or bonus experience.
Mm-hmm. And how are the teams formulating their stuff right here? I think for Blacklist International, they can take this time to look at it in a way on how to control JP, because JP got a lot of gold out of that.
It's heavy. JP totally got a lot of gold, and JP is someone willing to actually pummel that gold into your face if you're the enemy
Mhm.
team. If he gets the lead, he
And,
will just really go in, right?
and that's what we were talking about. Once those claws meet for Sicilian,
Mm-hmm.
you have no way to get
To
out.
feel for yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got your ultimate, but it's really not enough, I would dare say, right?
I mean,
it's still
for
vulnerable.
For a hero who faces out with multiple dashes on his side,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not really going to matter
Yeah.
unless you have the flicker to
And you're-
catch him off.
You're very vulnerable as well to auto attacks. You need your winter truncheon quick.
And yeah, I mean, they have to look out for the Sicilian more. If they lose another fight like that, they lose all their frontliners, then that only means on the other part of the map there's a Sicilian that's gonna suffer without the winter truncheon.
Yeah, yeah. An easy target here, especially with JP getting the lead for that
Mhm.
part. I'd be expecting maybe even a rose gold nature item here for JP, and this is, really out of our expectation. I'd be expecting a closer game, really, for this part. I just feel like Rafflesia's playstyle provides more vision, was able to coordinate more information towards his teammates. And there's an opportunity for Blacklist. The opportunity of capitalizing onto KLVJ's lane, because KLVJ did overextend earlier, right?
I remember that walking Gushon.
The walking Gushon, right?
Walking Gushon against a Roger.
Yeah, yeah, no.
If it reaches the time where the Shadow Blade slaughter goes on cooldown and the incandescence, that's probably the time where that Gushon can just turn things around. But without the incandescence and the combo, you cannot fight that Roger.
Yeah, totally cannot fight. And we, again, guys, just have a technical pause for this game number 1 between Blacklist and, of course, Aura PH. Once again, this is the English broadcast for our running game, and of course we get the Tagalog broadcast being presided on by Wolfcast and also Rockhart. Again, we just like to revisit that these two already has faced each other, and the result was 2-1, and it was won by Aura. From the looks of it, Aura can now capitalize once again, and there you go, beautiful.
And that was a bit of
Against
a
Atlanta.
that was a bit of a miscalculation there
Yeah,
from KLVJ.
Miguel VJ. He actually did engage without his. Calamity Reaper, and he was not given any opportunity to cast his execute.
He actually got damaged there, correct, by the concussive blast.
Yeah.
That really, that really messed up his calculation into diving in with the sword spike. He thought that he had enough HP to get out. He almost had the incandescence up on his side.
Yeah, yeah.
But when the time came, the Wave of the Dragon was there, and there was no coming back from that.
Aeson just greeted him actually, so We're at 3-5 here. And the lead that we've been telling you guys, it's not really 2K. I was looking at it earlier before the pause. It was 2K. Now we are sitting at a 3K, almost 4K earlier. And yeah, this is what will happen. JP has the lead. He will face and pummel it into the face of Blacklist International. Goes for the dive. Torn Rose, half health on Dexter. Of course, there's some follow-up from RPH, but doesn't matter. The lead is there, and that is a turret push once again. And it's like RPH 4 members are cleaning up against the mess of the lane here by
And it's all about the shields here for Lolita. And once you deplete those shields without the items, Lolita is not as tanky as you think.
yeah.
You have
Especially with the
damage.
bulwark down.
You have damage negation
Yeah.
on the bulwark, and that's one of the things that make that you know what, that Lolita seems tanky. It's more in the idea of the bulwark protecting you from a lot of the damage.
Indeed. 3-5 for a running game, ladies and gentlemen. There goes Aqua. He's gonna be careful. There is also the Clock of Destiny towards Edward. A turtle will be secured here by the members, of course, of Aura PH.
Kill VJ here will just try to get away, and look at this. Will Aura PH punish? They won't make it in time.
They won't make it in time, man. 6-minute mark, ladies and gentlemen. There's gonna be it. That's gonna be JP. Ison also staying here. Raflesia just dancing around. He did saw Ison, but of course, Raflesia is not really one of the best targets from the side of Aura PH.
I mean, later if they get a bit of a if they get a bit of items, it could be a possibility. But Essen right now, oh, he gets blocked out, and a lot of ultimates were used there onto the side of RPH.
Oh, that is a good security as well by Edward. Upon the ultimate that comes in from Greed, I think RPH is starting to respect at least that kite back from Edward. Although Edward did suffer a 0-2-0, you know, on his running KDA. It's actually a matter of how will you penetrate these lines from Blacklist International.
You know what? The understanding here from the other from RP, Mobile Legends Championship Invitational that we had, that certain draft that they pulled out there, they just mixed it with their with the season 6 pre-project.
That is the setup. Messing up against Blacklist International. That's just more and more lead established here by Aura. But it's also just the lead.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a lead flowing through. And in favor of Aura PH. I mean, if we international, that would be of that Numenon Blast of Dexter.
Okay, so now Blacklist International, they're getting the kills. I like it. The pickoffs are there. It's stopping Aura PH from delaying everything that's happening, or it's a part of delaying Aura PH through everything that they're trying. There is a fact that to this one member, every lane is shoved to the
Everything
side
is
of
totally shoved.
Blacklist International.
Yeah, that is the thing here. There's also one lane being worked on by the members of Blacklist. He just got full clip here. He just got full clip here onto the bottom lane outer turret. He has shown himself with the minions. That gives freedom for RPH along with JP to go for this inner mid turret. And you know, Dexter should be careful with these kind of dives because JP knows of where and when full clip will be arriving. At least he has a nice estimate on it.
Okay, so there was a trade in terms of turrets. They got one to side of Blacklist International to the bottom lane. What Aura PH did was, we get two.
And at least that is a good catch towards Rafisha. With Blake wait for the dive. Eason is now setting up for the Jeet Kundu. He gets greeted quickly by JP. Ladies and gentlemen, the Phantom Execution doesn't finish him. But the offense will do. Full clip, rerolls, goes and focus onto the other. KLBJ finally executes someone and it would be of the Uranus. If everyone walks away with a 2-4-1-3.
Okay, so now Aura PH RPH can set up. Blacklist International lost two people here onto their side. RPH, on the other hand, they have Rafisha in 5 seconds. So if they can go back to that Lord lane, they can just make it seem like Blacklist International that, hey, we're gonna take the Lord. Come here. We want to fight again.
Yeah. I hear. Do you want focus onto the Lord? No, that it is Argent instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. And I did feel that they can take this fight. But the problem is again, the lead of Jade is just overwhelming. And he got the right target.
Dashes a couple of them.
Yeah.
He even let Kira and while JP and the others, they sneak onto the middle lane.
Edward is actually not connecting the claws towards the up timer. He's getting the right BHP did get back onto the claw for once. Finally, and that drops JP towards half health. I think this is gonna be Aura. They're gonna be careful here because if JP dies, that stops their move.
Okay, so Kilowash and the others, they're still controlling the map. Even if, let's say, JP is forced out to, get the lifesteal, he's not really forced to recall as much. So, if you think about it, on the side of Blacklist, they're slowly but surely answering the pressure here for Aura PH, but this is not enough.
We got it. A 5-9 here for our run. Totally not enough. 5-9.
Yeah. Finally.
Kanina pa, no, medyo uhaw sa double back.
Oh.
Of course, si full clip which is 6-1 and 0. Surprisingly, I actually nakugulat ako with the amount of kills. Nakuha pala niya doon. So, talagang, ano yun eh, parang yung kainuman mo yun eh. Diba? So, pag hindi mo nahahalata, ubos na pala yung
Pulutan, eh, no?
eh.
Pulutan gaming.
Grabe tong si full clip dito.
I wanna say na yung idea dito pala ng Blacklist International ay parang ibibigay talaga nila yung purple buff kay Sicilian. Do you think magandang decision on their part? Do you think na at a certain point, pupunta yung focus mo doon sa Sicilian mo?
Actually, yes, the Sicilian is the biggest user talaga of the purple buff. I think until now, if I was full clip, kukonsid ko pa rin yung purple buff kay Sicilian. Kaya hindi ko na-expect na magdo-double buff si full clip dito. Lalo't pinag-aagawan pa yung purple ngayon. Because of, again, skill spam, short range yung lineup nila, pero nakaka-clear sila ng maganda.
Yeah.
Dahil din yun, sa Sicilian ni Edward.
Yeah.
Now, itong Sicilian na to, it's going to be a critical target as well para naman sa Aura PH to take down. Kasi pag natanggal to,
Damage out.
lagpas kalahati ng wave clear ng blacklist mawawala.
That's right.
So,
We'll see kung paano mag-a-adjust ang Blacklist International dun sa fact na yun. Have to take note guys si Eson ay Cho na naka-mask, so support Cho.
Yep.
Tank support Cho, tas may tank support na Lolita tayo, which means that Edward ay listed naman talaga bilang isang side laner, isang core ng Blacklist. And syempre na slowly nakakita tayo ng signs na sa scale ang ating Sicilian. So you might see that happening in the coming moments. And I think ang crucial na kasi kung i-compare mo siya sa Lancelot at sa Roger, syempre kung scaling lang ang usapan, Sicilian na yan. Forever
Syempre
scaling
it's an unlimited scale. Kahit mag-max items ka,
Lumalakas ka pa rin.
lumalakas ka pa rin. Kasi ganun talaga eh. That's just the way that the Sicilian works.
Exactly.
And ang condition naman nun is ang blacklist dapat mapatagal ang laban ng as long as they possibly can. And if they can do that, you know what? Kayang-kaya eh. Kayang-kaya naman nila na mabawi yung malaking lead. Actually, on the way to 10k na yung gold lead eh. Ng ano? On the way to 10k na yung gold lead ng Aura kanina kung hindi lang gawa ng Blacklist International yung mga big deck star sa game na to. Yung mga bagay-bagay sa kanyang utak. It's gonna be interesting.
Dahil meron si Edward that
Yung mga miyembro din ng Aura, nakatingin din sila sa top. Sabi na, medyo ano tayo, delicate yata tayo dun ah.
kung nagtitake in si International sabi ng Aura dito, pwedeng lumaban. Pero without that
Taga-block na lang muna ngayon ng skill check.
You know, at damage or movement speed, but Aqua, they're almost going down. Wow.
Oh no, this is Kilua. She won't waste any time here. He's gonna go for the wave clear. Aqua will do what he can, but Kilua knows that they can. And Inferno, and he can actually withstand the damage down for the turtle. There goes Dexter. And Flicker from Kilua. She knows he can escape. And that is it. That's how Kilua established.
at it, Blacklist International, they realize and if you
kung saan napaka-popular ang mga assassins at hindi ganun kasikat ang mga support. Actually,
Hindi talaga.
walang pumipili ng support para Wenzin, di ba?
So, ayun nga yung season 1. Question, ano ba yung naging meta ng season 2?
they're in the vicinity to actually take